Alright, so we're back with Armored Warfare. What? Whoa, Armored Warfare. No, I said I wasn't playing that anymore. Wargame Red Dragon. Yeah. Sorry about that. I'm still kind of in the Armored Warfare thing. It's because that's what I'm used to recording, but like I said, in that one video, I'm not doing Armored Warfare for a long time. I'm just not happy with it. But for right now, we're gonna do another game that has tanks in it, and armored vehicles and military stuff. So I want to record today because I'm putting this up. It's gonna go up about the same time as the last episode or last recording of Black Site Area 51. Not sure what I'm gonna do after Black Site Area 51. I mean, the Division, which was gonna be kind of the new staple of the channel for a bit, wasn't coming out till the 8th, which, you know, the Division looks great, and probably gonna play that for a while. I'm thinking about getting 2 games before this year, before like the big season, like games that are. I'm gonna think about getting. What is it called? Lords of the Fallen or something? Lords of the Fallen and Dark Souls 3. Probably get both of this for my birthday. But enough talking. Let's get on to the deck build. So, what do I want to build today? What haven't I done? Let's do a commonwealth. Mechanized. Common mechs. No bonus. Bonuses are usually never good. Alright, so what do we want? What do we have for logistics? Some very good countries. Australia, New Zealand, England, United Kingdom, and Canada. All good countries. I don't know about this one. Canada I'm fine with. And Australia and New Zealand are cool too. They have some laws I particularly don't like. Not to get into any of that, we're just going to talk about the deck build. Alright, well obviously we need a fob. Canada, why not? And let's get a command. Since this is a mechanized deck, I think we'll go with the warrior command, because it can lay down some serious firepower with that Rarden 30mm. I think we're also going to get an infantry command, and then we'll get these Australian giant trucks. I mean, these things are huge. I mean, like, these trucks are big. The M35 cargo, I mean, look at them compared to the guy. Alright, now, kaboosh! Australia's just like trucks. Hey, this thing's huge. Yeah, let's get 2 things of those. Lots of supplies. Let's see, a lot of infantry here. We're gonna go with Rifleman. Let's see, what do we have? Canadian Airborne. I'm not gonna get these guys, they only come in Chinooks, which are kind of big, I think. I mean, look, they're kind of big and they don't have any armor. I mean, yeah, sure, they're fast, but yeah. I mean, Canadian Airborne are very good, but if they came in Hueys or something like that, that'd be much better. And we have Canadian Rifleman 85, which are your regular guys. They have this unique kind of transport vehicle, the TH-495. I would basically call it the not Bradley, because it's sort of like the Bradley, but not as good. Next we have the Commandos, seem pretty good. Gustav and a Bren. Oh, this is one of those ways I say that the previous is better than the newer ones. Mainly for how I play. Like, I feel the Commandos are much better than the Commandos 90. Why? Because you have much better accuracy with the L1A1 compared to the AUG. You also have more range with this one. And yeah, sure, you're not as good as firing at the move, but it's barely less good at firing on the move. I mean, you fire slightly slower. The launcher is exactly the same, you know. Look, 760, 60, AP, or 18, everything's the same. And then I would actually say the Bren is better than the Mini-Me. Mainly because it has a lot more range. It's 1,000. It's pretty much 1,000 compared to 770 on here. Helicopters, exactly the same. Accuracy is 35% more. And the stabilizer is also better. I mean, yeah, you fire a little bit less than half, and you do have half the ammo, but in my opinion, you never last long enough to... No infantry squad lasts long enough to get rid of all their ammo. So, there's commandos. Then we have the diggers, which are also pretty good. They're kind of cheap, but they're pretty good. Just regular infantry. I got the diggers 90. Then we have Fusiliers, which, yeah, they come in the warrior with the Milan on top. This is a very good transport. So it's kind of hard to say what we'll go with. Then again, I'm kind of thinking that we might go with the commandos? The regular commandos. We have a lot of infantry to choose from, so... Yeah, I think we're gonna go with the... Well, commandos are shock. I kind of want to get just a regular infantry in here, and I think the diggers 90 is actually better. Or is it? Let's see. 16, so, yeah, okay. Like I said, the L1A one's better than the AUG, in my opinion. Yeah, we are going to go with... Okay, let's compare you guys to the Canadian Rifleman. You have... C7, which is an M16 basically. Let's see, 30. Oh, even though the rifles are different in real life, they have the same stats. Weird. Honestly, the AUG is a much better CQB weapon because it's a lot shorter because it's a bullpup. Launcher is exactly the same, and then you have to compare the Mini-Me to the C6, which is a big difference here. Yeah, the C6 is they have to be stationary to use their light machine gun compared to the Mini-Me, which they can move. So you have to decide, is it, you honestly, that range, that better suppression, slightly worse rate of fire, but they have to be static to use it. Honestly, I'm gonna go with the Diggers 90, I think. The Bren's also a CQC. Oh, the Bren has better suppression also. Yeah, regular Diggers. I'm gonna go with two things of veteran Diggers, and then we're gonna go with not Fusiliers. Yeah, we'll go with two things of Diggers, and then we'll give some fire support. Versus Maw. These are just 5-man squads, so and they have the exact same launcher. So, what's the difference? Empty Browning, except this one has a little turret. It says 30-50, but you can't use the secondary machine gun, so it's like pointless. Twin 1919s. It's not like the transport matters, but 65. We'll go with the Canadians. Two things of them in veteran. Do we want engineers? No, you both only have flamethrowers. I only like engineers if they have the flame launchers. So we can get the Anzac SAS versus the regular SAS. Because we are going to get an elite squad like this. Okay, let's compare the AUG, Para, and the M16. I mean, honestly, the AUG Para is an even shorter version, so it should technically have less range than the M16. Heat static, it's 60% accuracy. But less, let's see, what do we have? We have less range on the AT4, less range on the AT, or less accuracy on the AT4, less AP power on the AT4, less suppression, but double the rate of fire. Oh, and the SAS regular don't get a light machine gun. Huh. I guess we can take both. Why not take both? I mean, we have enough room, because I don't think I need that much. Take both. Yeah, there. I don't usually use anti-aircraft infantry. You know what, fine. Well, just to get a bunch of helicopter troops, even though I said I didn't need them, they're not going to be our main guys. The diggers are, combined with the Maw. Yeah, let's go with the Canadian Airborne. Let's see, let's compare everything. Canadian Airborne versus Canadian Airborne. Alright, 90. Less range on the M6, on the C7, it's basically an M16. Less accuracy, slightly better stabilizer. Less suppression, better rate of fire. What's the difference between the M2 and the M3? More range on the Gustav M3, I'm not using it. It's still crap range, you know, because it's a recoilless rifle, not an anti-tank guided missile. It's 2 less AP power, which isn't that much. Same rate of fire. And, wow, the Canadian Airborne have a really good light machine gun. I mean, more range, same versus helicopters, more accuracy, a better stabilizer, more suppression, and it's CQC, so they don't have to be static. So yeah, I'm gonna say regular Canadian Airborne is better, honestly. I mean, sure you have less rounds, but again, in my experience, troops rarely run out of ammo before they die. Alright, now to get on to this section. So, oh, that was weird. What are we gonna get? Well, gotta get these Stormers. Why? Look at all of that. Look at that helicopter range, that airplane range. I mean, they're very expensive. I mean, 6H. AP power 12, they're anti-tank, they're anti-aircraft, anti-helicopter. They're even anti-infantry, even with this little machine gun. We'll get one Stormer, and another good thing about this deck is that you should also be able to take... Wait, where are they? ADATs, which is pretty close to the same thing, except Canadian. So that's 2 actually very good anti-aircraft vehicles that aren't radar. They are guided though, but they're not radar. I feel radar things just get shot down. Next, what should we get? Should we get a mortar? I don't think we should get a mortar. And just to get some more anti-aircraft, we're gonna get one thing is regular tracked rapiers because they're not radar. And then we are going to get 2 cards of trained M110s. Why? Because they're great big dirty 203 or 8-inch howitzers. I know, because the original designation is 8-inch howitzer. I forget it's 8-inch. I know that. Statics, like, I don't know why people don't take these. They are amazing. They have 10 HE power, so anything they hit, they just instantly destroy. They're good against infantry. They're good against tanks. They're good against other artillery. Like I've destroyed ships with these also. So, plus the fact that you can take 2 cards of trained and have 6 of them is just crazy. I mean, and then you could even take the less expensive one. So you can literally have like tons of these things just pounding the enemy. Alright, now onto the tank section. Oh, wow, you can take a Challenger 1. Crazy. Well, I'm gonna go with that we are going to need stuff to move up with our transports, because our ground transports aren't really the best. Just have M113s, so I'm gonna say they're gonna need, besides the Chinooks and the helicopters, we are going to need some type of vehicles to move up with them. Because I like having kind of like smaller tanks that are good for destroying transports. And yeah, just giving a little bit of infantry support. So that would be our cheap tanks. And the cheap tanks that come to mind... Yeah, the cheap tanks that come to mind are the cavalry tanks. Very good at supporting infantry. I mean, you have the M41 Walker Bulldog here, which 76mm M32. It's pretty bad. It has a actually wow, that should be way higher. That should be like at least 12 rounds per minute, honestly. But it's not that bad. It's destroying transports. AAP, you know, that's good to get through every I think every Soviet transport except maybe the BTRT. Don't quote me on that. But we also have the Scorpion and the Scorpion 90, which... look, it has to be stationary when firing. So I don't agree with stationary firing vehicles. I think that, you know, should be able to fire on the move. So we are going to go with the Walker Bulldog for our slight infantry support. Now you're like, oh, why wouldn't you go with big ones? Don't worry. The reason I go with... They're only for going up with your infantry. So, the rest of ours should be big tanks. Yeah, so, obviously you get the Leopard C2. You get 2 cards of Chieftain Mark 11. And then you get 1 thing of Challenger 1s. There you go. You now have everything covered in your tanks. Because Commonwealth tanks are very good. I mean, I guess I could have taken one of the Centurions instead of the M41 Walker Bulldog, because HE power 3, what's your HE power? 2, 8 rounds per minute, 8 rounds, yeah, same fire rate, but... Wait, why did the Leopard 1 with the 105mm fire faster than the 20-pounder? 20-pounder's very fast firing. And why does it... Yeah, wait, why does... The 105 fire faster than the 76. Why does who design who get Eugen I forget Eugen I forget who makes this game. Why does this and this have similar fire rates despite this being a much larger caliber? And they're both hand loaded. Neither of these have auto loaders, you know. Alright, helicopter, vehicles. Recon. Alright, now I like recon that can fight, personally. I don't like recon that just sits there and can't fight. Yeah, it doesn't even matter if it fights bad, as long as it can't fight. Which... what should we go with? I really like sniper squads, but we don't have any. We have green jackets we could take. I think we're gonna take 1 thing of green jackets. And then we should probably honestly take the Fox. The Fox is pretty good. 100 speed. It's good for laying down some fire. It's either that or it's better. Are you better than you? Or you? Oh, Fox has to be static. No. It's not good. That's honestly not good. Why does it have to be static? That doesn't make any sense. These aren't static though. Alright. I don't need I don't think, do I want that? I don't know, this Fox isn't bad. Oh, we could take the Scimitar, which is like which is Scorpion basically with the same gun as the Fox. We'll take the Fox. I know I don't like the static, but I feel since it's extremely fast and very cheap. I mean, we're not, you know, doing some crazy fighting with it, but I like moving up recon vehicles with our, recon infantry. That's all we're gonna take for scouts. I know you say, get a helicopter scout, but I've had helicopter scouts just die, and neither of these have excellent. Look. Oh, nope, you have exceptional. No, thank you. They just die. People target them right away, honestly. Alright. Now comes the good section. Vehicles. Honestly, where some of the best ones are. Ferret with NTAC. I like these things. These ferrets with the NTACs. I mean, 20 AP power. Think about that. They have 20 AP power on this little 20-point unit. That is good enough to get through the front of a Challenger 1. Yeah, let's get them. Let's get 2 cards of veteran. We have tons of points. Saladin? No. Strikers. There we go. Good for taking out tanks. We will need that. Cougars. No, I'm gonna go with the Centurion AVRE because they have 80 good HE power. And we shall go with the Vickers. One thing of Vickers. Okay. Helicopters. Oh, that's the phone. Alright, sorry about that. Oh. Back to helicopters. Any good ones here? Gunship. Bushranger. Bushranger's pretty good. I mean, you got that minigun there. Tons of minigun ammo. Lots of rockets. These things are good at destroying infantry. You also got Lynx with the 20 millimeters. They do have AP power, so they can't kill very lightly armored vehicles. I think for 30 points, only having a 20 millimeter isn't good enough. Like, I honestly think that you should have rockets or anti-tank guided missiles. And something I didn't notice about the Bushranger. It doesn't have any HE power. These are only heat rockets. Yeah, that's something. Neat. These rockets are only good against vehicles. Lightly armored vehicles, so, yeah. I don't know, is there any, I don't think there's any ones that are worth it. Maybe this Tau missile, but we have some anti-tank. Yeah. Get one. Nah, I mean... nothing really good. And I'm not really into, planes. Honestly, I don't use planes. I'm gonna tell you now. Because, I don't know, I just don't use them. So, we'll just get you and you. Oh, we have 1 point left. Might as well get one helicopter. You know, let's get the gunship here. It's because these are HG rockets. So, yeah. And we're not gonna bother doing the Navy. Because that's just annoying. So, let's go over it. We have our fob. We have our warrior, which is going to go into capture points that aren't in the city or in towns. Then you're going to have our TAC HQ go into the town places, because that's what you get them for. And then we have 2 man caddies. 2 things of man caddies, because they're huge and have tons of supplies, which are going to be used for artillery, mainly, because they take up a lot of supplies. For infantry, for just regular squad guys, we have diggers, which are honestly better probably at defending than attacking. But you want to move these guys up with your maw, because having the support of the maw units with your diggers is very nice. Yeah, especially with that 2 HE power. So then you can have, if you need to bring in better, you have a lot of very good units here with your a lot of SAS, a lot of different SAS. You can move these guys up with your diggers because they have they're basically like regular elite units. And if you need maybe a little bit of AA, take the British SAS or the UK SAS. Also good at covering flanks, moving through forest. Maybe move these guys up with your Canadian Airborne, because they don't have a machine gun, or maybe move the two different SAS together, and then move these Canadian Airborne in with your Maul and Diggers. I like mixing different types of infantry together. Like a lot of the YouTubers I watch, they kind of just clump one type of unit, but I honestly think mixing different types together is better. What else? Next. So, I went with all non-radar AA, mainly because radar AA just gets shot down for me. I mean, if we compare the... Let's see, what's the most expensive gun AA we can get here? Oh, we'll compare this. Tracked rapier range to the ADATs. It is better, but, you know, I don't like radar AA because I'm not very good at micromanaging, so, you know, having to turn off the AA and back on, there's an aircraft, and, you know, you don't know if it's going to get shot down. We can just use Stormers and ADATs and regular tracked rapiers, which, yeah, you gotta move them a bit closer, but honestly, you have the tanks and other vehicles in order to protect them. So, yeah. So yeah, and then, like I said, with the big artillery here, why I went with it over either of the M109s, because it's bigger. It's bigger, does more damage. That's why. I think it also has farther range. Do you have farther range? You do have farther range. Sure, you only get 2 shots, but that's why you have supplies. Tanks. Like I said, you're gonna use these M41A1s to move up with your infantry. They're pretty good at just wasting anti-tank, also wasting anti-tank guided missiles on. Because you'll see people, they'll see a tank and they won't immediately recognize what it is, but they'll still shoot it with an ATG or anti-tank guided missile. Like, I remember I had like a T-3045 and someone wasted like some jet to try and kill it because it was killing his infantry. And it's like the jet got shot down. So you wasted like some 100-point unit to kill like a 10-point unit. So yeah, M401, they're good. They're good for moving up with your infantry because you have bad transports. Yeah, I should have probably taken the warrior, which then I wouldn't really need the tanks to move up with them, but yeah. Then you have your Leopard C2 and your chieftains here, which are going to be doing a good amount of brawling, and then when you need something heavy, bring in the Challenger 1, but this is not a tank-focused deck, so yeah, you're going to rely on your allies for tanks. Hopefully someone has an armored deck, or, yeah, armored deck or a marine deck, because Marines can get pretty good tanks, usually. Then for your scouts, obviously go with the green jackets. For infantry scouts, I like infantry scouts because their stealth is very good, and these guys are trained in shock compared to the Norforce, which is only regular trained, and these guys also don't have a light machine gun. So yeah. And yeah, you have the Fox, which, like I said, move this up with your recon infantry, just move it around anywhere. Just keep moving around the city, you know, pelting them with this 30mm. It sucks it has to be static, but I honestly think this should be changed and be able to fire on the move. Yeah. So in your vehicles, mainly focus here on infantry support and anti-tank. Hold on 1 second, that's the phone again. We're back. Sorry. But yeah, main focus here is lots of anti-tank with these cheap little NTACs. Just put these around everywhere, spam a bit. Move them up with your recon infantry, maybe. Same with these Stormers. Bit more expensive, just move them up. Support your tanks with them. See if your friends need help with put these things with your tanks or your friends' tanks. Then we have Centurion AVRE, which is great at supporting infantry. Just blast them out with that big cannon. Vickers can kind of do a bit of everything. It could be your anti-tank. It could be move up with your infantry. It doesn't have to be stop the fire. Maybe move it up with your scouts because it's fast. Helicopters. Again, just some infantry support. So yeah. Then just use these napalm bombers to block roads or destroy towns. That's all you do with napalm. I don't know. So yeah, bye.